Funding for Pierre Franey's Cuisine Rapide is made possible by Caroline Importers Limited, Teaneck, New Jersey.
Today, bistro-style cooking.
Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Pierre Franey. This is Cuisine Rapide. Today, I'm going to cook bistro food. Everybody talk about bistro. Bistro, they've been around for many, many years, and suddenly they come back to life, you know. Bistro food, this is food that I like to do, and I enjoy doing it, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, do it yourself. So, my first recipe is going to be asperges et jambon mornay, which is asparagus tips with ham and cheese sauce. So what do we need? We need 24 asparagus, which I have right here. They weigh about 2 pounds. 24 slices of ham. This is very good ham. Make sure when you buy it, tell the guy who slices it not to slice it too thin. To begin, I have to peel the asparagus. So, I have the asparagus, you know, a lot of people, they don't peel asparagus. I peel them. There's a reason for that. First of all, you could eat almost the whole asparagus, and the color comes out very nicely, and sometimes the skin is very tough. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cook the asparagus. I got some boiling water right here. I put a little pinch of salt to it, and we're going to cook that very quickly, about a minute. We don't want to overcook them because they're going to cook some more. All right, the asparagus I'm cooking, I'm going to make the sauce. What I need here, I have 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. You know, lately I'm using, it's not something new, but I'm using 1 dry flour. 1 dry flour. Sometimes I call it in my recipe instant flour in the New York Times. But 1 dry flour makes it it's easy to bind, and it makes the sauce very, very light. Cook that very quickly like this. We bind it. We have to cook the flour and the butter together. Otherwise it gives not a very good taste to it. It tastes like paste, you know. All right, now see this bubbling a little bit here? That's the time to add the milk. Okay, we bind this little bit of salt. See, it binds very quickly. Some white pepper, a little bit of this, fresh nutmeg. I like the flavor, not, the wrong side. A little bit of it, about a 1/8 teaspoon. It's boiling too fast. Little bit of cayenne pepper. All right, see, it's cooked. It's got to boil. It's got to simmer for a while. And then to this, I'm going to add 1 yolk of egg. That's the way I do my yolk. Easy. We're going to bind this very quickly. I'm going to add the Gruyere. So now I bind the Gruyere right here, and the sauce is done. All right. Now my asparagus are cooked. And I'm going to drain this right here very carefully. We don't want to break the tip of the asparagus. Then, with this dish, I'm going to make something that I like very much. You know, we're talking about bistro food, so I'm going to make something that I like. It's straw potatoes, pomme pie in French. It's very typical in the bistro, you know. So I'm going to make sure the fat is right. It's not hot enough. But meanwhile, got some asparagus already done here. We need about 24. So what we do, we take a one slice asparagus like this. Very simple. We take one slice of ham. I want to see what's going on here. The fat has got to be at the right temperature, which it is now. Put the asparagus right here, and you roll it in. You know, I do that sometimes too. You should try it. You could use, I use endive. I cook the endive, and I roll that around. It's not bad at all, you know. All right, now we taste this. Good. It's got to be seasoned right. So, we put the sauce right over like this. Nice flavor coming through. I wish you could smell this. We got to cover, you know, basically everything. We got enough sauce to cover everyone. I want to clean the edges because it's going to burn. It's a bistro food. We don't want that to be too neat, you know. But it's got to be neat. Okay, I got the Parmesan cheese, which I'm going to put on top. Spread it out evenly. And then I'm going to put that on the broiler until it gets brown, very light brown, lightly brown. I'm going to put that, I got the broiler on here. I'm going to put that on the bottom shelf this way. And I want to leave the door open a little bit, like this. I want to make those potatoes. All right, now, to make the potatoes, of course, you got to slice the potatoes. I have a gadget here. It's called a mandolin. It's sold all over the United States, all the good shops, everybody has it. It's made in France. But it's kind of, you know, you have to be very careful when you use this because it's very sharp. When you buy this, most of the time today, this one is very old. I'm not kidding, I had this thing for over 30 years. So now finally the design, something that goes over, like a guard. You cannot cut yourself. But I'm so used to use that because you cut so many different kind of potatoes with these gadgets. You could make French fry, you know, they're anything. So you pick up the potatoes like this and you just go like this, see? You shred it, see? Makes a long strip like this, see? You have to take your time, make sure not to cut your fingers, you know. I'm so used to it, I used to do it very fast, but I want to go slowly like this. Okay. Now, those potatoes, they have to be washed in clean water, but 2 times, and then you have to dry them, and you dry them, you make sure, you know, they're in a towel, because if you put that in hot fat, you got a bombshell in there, you know. So, and when you use a deep fryer, make sure you put the oil only 1/3 of the height of the pot you're going to use. So this is about, yes, it's about 330 degrees. Now, as a safety thing, precaution, you use it's called an araignée in French, you know, Spider-Man. You put if you use that, if you don't use a basket, you put the spider right in there. You put few potatoes at a time. You see, because it's going to bubble, right? And the moisture is going to be released, so you have to be careful. So if you see the bubble coming up, you go like this, see? You lift it up right away. So you have to be very careful, but I'm going to show you how to do it, see? See, it takes a while, but it's fun to do, you know? Okay, now I want to check my... I think I'm going to move it up a little bit. See, it's bubbling nicely, but I want to finish them up on top. I'll go back to this here. See, and they change color very quickly. When they start to change color, you have to stay with it, because you're going to see them right in front of your eyes getting darker. They're getting there. See, that's done. Very good. Maybe a little bit of salt. Look at that, beautiful. And they're crunchy, they're crisp. Let's not fool around with this. All right. Okay. Okay, look. See, it's nice and bubbling. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. I'm gonna try to make one serving. About 4 asparagus per person. Put right in there, like this. I'm going to put some potatoes with it. It goes well with it, I tell you. Right on the side like this. Whoop! It's hot, believe me. All right, I'm going to test this. Just the tip of one. No, on the back. Very good. Try to take some potatoes at the same time. The potatoes are crisp and together when you chew everything together, I tell you, it's a beautiful flavor and a good feeling in your mouth.
Bistro à la Franey. Next up, behind the scenes. This time, an American bistro, the Boiler Room Cafe. In the foothills of the Berkshire Mountains in western Massachusetts, in a creaky old building that once manufactured horse and buggy whips, is a restaurant called the Boiler Room. You enter a narrow end of the dining room with aged wood and brick walls and red lacquer tables. The other side of the room is more cozy and warm, with white tablecloths, paintings, and book-lined walls. The Boiler Room is not a sophisticated restaurant. It has a homey and highly personal menu, featuring simple American fare and exceptional home-baked breads and desserts. And now we join Pierre and Michelle Miller, the chef and owner.
You know, Michelle, I know you're very famous for your fruit pie, so I came all the way from New York City in western Massachusetts in the Berkshire to see you doing a fruit pie for me. So what kind of pie are you going to do?
Well, welcome to the Boiler Room. I'm glad you came all this way. And we've been waiting all winter for the rhubarb to come up, and here it is.
I see you got beautiful rhubarb here.
Freshly cut from Taft Farms.
So what else are you going to do with it?
Well, I thought today we'd use some canned sour pitted cherries.
Sometimes you use fresh cherry when you get them in season?
Yep, and then we pit them ourselves. And to make the filling, we'll use 5 tablespoons of flour.
What, are you going to mix that in here?
Mm-hmm.
Flour. Did you ever use cornstarch?
Um,
Or arrowroot? Could you do that?
I've never used arrowroot. I've used cornstarch to make the plum crumb pie.
I see. But flour is just as good, right?
Have I put 5 or 6 in there?
Only put 6 now.
Well, we better take one out then.
Yes.
And we're going to put in a 1.25 cups of sugar.
If you use only cherry, you put less sugar?
Yeah, if I was doing all cherry pie, I would use 3/4 cup of sugar with 3 tablespoons. So you can figure about a 1/4 cup of sugar per tablespoon of flour.
So the sugar change with according to the fruit you're using.
Well, rhubarb is tart, especially, so.
You put a little more, yes.
So we'll
So
blend
bind-
this together. And you can use a spoon if you want.
This is for one pie.
This is for one pie, and a pinch of salt. And then I'll put part of the filling in the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And you put that evenly in the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And if you really haven't had enough butter in the crust, I suppose we could put some butter on top of the fruit, too.
I see, but you have
But
enough
I'm not
butter.
going to do that, because I have enough butter. And I'll put a little bit. And then we'll put our cherries on top.
You have about 2 cups. But
Mm-hmm.
you have a little more than 2 cups here, no?
Yes.
No juice.
No juice. We've theoretically drained these cherries very
Mhm.
much because, as you know, rhubarb gives off a lot of water. And today I'm going to put something a little special in,
What's that?
some cherry marnier.
How much you going to put of that?
Oh, I think a tablespoon would be good.
Yes. I think that's going to make it very special, you know. So you're going to put what? 2 tablespoons?
I thought 1 tablespoon would be
Right,
enough.
one
Would you like me
tablespoon.
to put another tablespoon in?
I don't know. You're making the pie. I don't
Let's try
know.
another tablespoon in.
Yeah, you know, it won't hurt, I'm sure.
All right. There we go.
Okay. We shall see. So this pie has been cooled now.
Yes, and it's ready to cut.
So I can't wait, you know.
Well, let's not.
All right.
It's a little juicy. How about this big?
A small piece. For me.
Oh, shame on you. And it has.
You want-
Well,
Okay.
oh, it smells like rhubarb and it smells like cherries. And here we go. Sometimes you have to use a serving spoon to serve the first
It's
piece. Of
still
pie. Very hot.
okay. I like my pie warm a little bit, you know.
Look at that, the nice green with the red.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's not really hot, you know. It's just lukewarm.
Well, if we had waited a little bit longer, it probably would have been. Well,
It's very good, you know. The combination of all those flavors together is very nice. A little more sherry again, pie.
do you think there's enough cherry liqueur in there?
I think it's just beautiful. Great. Michelle,
Cherry rhubarb pie from the Boiler Room Cafe. Now back to Pierre in the kitchen.
my next bistro recipe is going to be monkfish in red wine sauce. This is a dish, I'm very fond of it. It's because in Burgundy, we do that dish, it's called matelote. And matelote is made the same way, but what we do, we use freshwater fish, different kind of fish, like eels, carp, and so on, pike. So I'm very, very fond of this. Now, to do this recipe, we're going to need 4 pounds of monkfish, which I have right here. This is the way you see the monkfish in a fish house or the fish shop. Most of the time, they come like this. You know, that is the skin in top, it has to be removed. This is the side of the bone, and this is the side of the skin. Monkfish is a very ugly fish. They have a skin, we have skinned out like a rabbit almost. But this is what is left, but this got to go. So what I did here, this is what I got right here, okay? I trim it, it's ready to be cut. Now, this is the monkfish I'm gonna cut. Very easy. We cut it like in half, like this. And we cut, about an inch cube like this. Okay, done. Now, to make the sauce now, I'm going to show you how to do it. We need 3 tablespoons of butter, which I have right here. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of chopped shallots. The butter is very hot, so the pan is very hot. We don't want to burn the shallots because we're going to give some kind of bitter taste to it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, very little garlic. We stir it. We add the parsley sprig. I got the thyme, the parsley sprig. I got the bay leaf. I got everything here. And 2 cloves. All right. Now, I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of flour to bind the sauce. When you make a brown sauce like this, you never use a whisk to mix your flour. Always use a wood spatula or something like it, but never a whisk. And then I'm going to add 1 bottle of wine, dry red wine from Côte Rôtie. It's got to be a gutsy wine because this is bistro food. Now, I'm going to add 2 cups of fish broth, which I made fresh. We're going to bring that to a boil to simmer, and we're going to cook that for about 20 minutes. So you make sure to stir it well. Okay, I have a sauce here. It's been cooking for 20 minutes. See, that's the way it looks like. See the difference? 20 minutes, the color change, and reduce, of course, and give a little body to it. I'm going to move that here because it's done. Now, I got about 2 tablespoons of butter, the onions, the mushrooms. So we cook that with a little bit of salt, like this. It has to be brown. So now I'm going to add the fish right in here. We're going to put some cognac in here. Some Marnier cognac here. I said 2 tablespoons. You could put 1, 2. You know where I come from in Burgundy, like I said, this is called Matelote. We use eau de vie. My grandfather used to make the eau de vie is kind of moonshine, but that was legal in France those days. And so that's why we use to deglaze with the wine and the eau de vie. But the cognac, I tell you, was good too, you know, maybe better. Okay, I got this sauce, which has been boiling for about 20 minutes. We're going to put that right over. And I'm going to, it's very important when you strain a sauce like this, you got all the goodies in here, you know. You got shallots, you got garlic, a little bit, you know, clove and all this. So you press it. So, especially with a whisk, this is very good, you see. This is called a chinois, a China cap. This is very, very good. For anybody who loves cooking, we should have one. Okay, we squeeze that. We're going to bring this to a boil like this, to simmer. And it's got to be simmering for about 5 minutes, no more. We don't want to overcook it. So I got some potatoes here. I want to taste it first. Tasting is the key, you know. It's going to be fine. All right, like I have those potatoes, which I've been cooking for 15 minutes. We don't want to overcook them. So we got to taste them like this. See, they're just right. They're not overcooked. They're very nice. I'm going to drain them. they have to be well drained. And when the fish start to simmer, we are going to put the potatoes. They start to simmer, I'm going to add the potatoes to this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move that right next to me. Right in here. Okay. Make sure the potatoes are in the cook with the wine a little bit. They have to simmer with the wine. Now, this is simmering good. I'm going to double shake the seasoning. Great. Okay. I got some crouton in here. Hey, I forgot about it. Whew. They almost burned. That's what it looked like. This is good with anything, those crouton, you know, salad or whatever. Okay. I'm going to show you a serving, what a serving looks like. It's almost like a soup. It's a stew. Put a little more fish in here. See, the fish have to stay firm. If you want to, you could do that almost with any kind of fish, you know. I mean, make sure to use a firm fish, tile fish, pike, you know, things like that. And believe me, it's great. So, I'm going to put some more fish right here. I'm going to dip that in a sauce like this. This is good. Put right over like this. And this is my bistro food for the day.
Monkfish with red wine sauce, another basic bistro recipe from Pierre Franey's Cuisine Rapide.
Funding for Pierre Franey's Cuisine Rapide has been made possible by Caroline Importers Limited, Teaneck, New Jersey.
This is PBS.
Pierre's quick and easy recipes from today's show, plus more than 250 others, are contained in this companion cookbook. 65 step-by-step line drawings guide you through Pierre's classic technique. To order this 384-page hardcover book, call 1-800-635-COOK. The cost is $22.50 plus $2 shipping and handling. Credit cards are accepted, or send your check to P.O. Box 37142, Omaha, Nebraska 68137.